On this week's episode, Mike and I welcome a good friend of the show, Caty Kuzma from Kuzma Sports. She is a player's rep for the Korn Ferry Tour, and she's looking for you. Go check her out, KuzmaSports.com. We dive into what it takes for the players to become repped on the PGA Tour and what they should look for. Caty brings a lot of insight. Thanks, Caty. All right, we are going to switch things up on this episode of Rough Fairways. We are going to welcome in our first female guest, and she's Caty Kuzma from Kuzma Sports Agency. Caty, good evening.
Hey, how's it going?
Great. And how are you?
Good. Very tired, but good.
Okay. Where have you been recently to represent any players that you have on the docket? Give us a day in the life of your past week. I know Korn Ferry Tour is winding down. PGA Tour is getting closer to playoffs. What is your life like right now?
So I went to the Korn Ferry event in Omaha just to show face and, network. And I talk about Josh when I'm there too. I like to get myself out there in any way that I can, not just sit at home. So I did that. And then I think the Korn Ferry Tour finals, they're still happening. And I'm going to Evansville next week, which is going to be great. And I actually met a ton of PGA Tour headquarters people when I was in Omaha. And I talked to Kevin Price, who's amazing. He's the social media guy for Korn Ferry Tour, and I invited him to get drinks with me and my intern, and he was so surprised. He was like, "You agents don't do this with us or with me," and I just was so surprised because it seems to me there's a pattern here that I'm doing things that other agents just don't do. Like they may think they're better than, but we had a great time. I networked really well, and can't wait to see them next week. So just kind of getting ready for that. And Josh has a Korn Ferry Tour Q School in a month, so the prep work for that takes up most of my time. I've got, my Excel sheets, my 30-day prior, 7-day prior, week of, day of, and I'm sure he loves it, but a lot of planning, preparing, and, getting ahead of the game.
And for those that don't know, you represent Joshua Cedeno. He's on the PGA Tour Latino. Share how you go ahead.
He was. Right now, a lot of guys have lost status for various reasons, but he's going to get on Korn Ferry Tour after this is the first stage, so after the final stage. But I'm trying to implement into his mind. There's no, oh, what if I don't? There's no stress. Like you're gonna get on to the Korn Ferry Tour, and that's literally just it. So that's the plan. And then once he's on, we'll just travel together, which will be nice.
Very nice. Now, you used to be an agent, and you represented Bubba Watson and Kevin Na for a few years. Explain the difference, what like a Korn Ferry Tour player may need versus what a PGA Tour player may need.
So Korn Ferry Tour players are brand new. Most of them are babies. They don't know the industry. They don't know the ins and outs. They don't have the knowledge that I do. So in a way, I almost feel like a mentor or like I hold their hand. PGA guys don't do that. I mean, for the most part, they should be well-versed enough to be on the PGA. So for Korn Ferry Tour guys, I basically just think it's being there to answer questions and to walk them through things they've never done. Like Josh, I had this spreadsheet for the Korn Ferry Tour Q School, and he doesn't know half of it. So it's all new to them, and I think they more so need not a friend, but somebody they can call for literally anything. PGA guys don't do that, So
it's like an incoming freshman at a college.
Yes, and some of them are. So I feel like a big sister role, like I help with finances and I don't know, they get in a car accident, I'd probably be the first one to call. I don't think PGA guys would do that. So my role is a little bit more personal, which I prefer.
I know you're probably too young to not have to have done your job without social media days, but how has social media been a huge impact to representing players?
Well, for a while there, I was managing a few players' Instagram accounts myself, which was amazing because I got to see, the behind the scenes and the DMs that they get. Crazy. But social media is so great, but it's also extremely dangerous. So you have to be really careful, not be a liability. And obviously, Josh doesn't post, which I would prefer it if he did more because there's monetary value to it. But I think it's good and bad, and it's evolved into this huge thing. Like if you don't have Instagram or you don't have TikTok, who are you right now? So I think staying up to date and consistent with it will only help you. You just can't let the culture and the nonsense and bad comments get to you.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Yeah. As a pro athlete, you get a lot, and it's amazing to me how they tune it out because it's even hard for me to tune it out, and I get hate too. So I feel like that's something I could be good for with Josh, when he does get on Korn Ferry and then PGA, is helping him just let it go.
With all of the outside noise and let alone trying to make your tour card for the Korn Ferry Tour players, these guys aren't really well known. They're not on commercials. They're not on TV. They play in front of very few crowds. When players are looking for representation, what am I going to look for? What are they looking for? I'm a new guy. I'm really good at golf, and I have a little status, and I need to get more status. What are players looking for nowadays?
So I think it's really important that you establish your goals and then find an agent that meets those. So what I do may not be the same thing as any other agent, and I actually know that's true because I do more. But I think you should look for, first, obvious is like trust and honesty. You're going to be with this person in the good and the bad. You have to be able to trust them, and it's goes both ways as well, because we have confidential conversations, and I know stuff about players that maybe the media doesn't know yet. So trust, obviously. And then I think my biggest thing is consistency. Like, is your agent going to treat you with the same amount of time and his attention if he has a top PGA guy? Probably not. So pay attention to that. And in a lot of agencies, unless you're playing well, you're treated very like you have to walk on eggshells because you don't know if they're going to drop you or not. So I would look at, the contract, and if it says, you have to do this at this amount of time, like at this time, or we're out. And then I would say also communication, like, are they available to you 24/7? Like, will they help you out if you're in a crisis and it has nothing to do with golf? So I think it just matters what your goals are and what you're looking for in an agent. And then you should interview and talk to players that they've managed before or people that they know. The golf world's very small. So word gets around if you're not, if you're shady. But
so 24/7, that means your phone is never on silent?
No.
Wow.
And that go for players. Being an agent it's difficult in a sense because my personal and social life kind of gets taken away, or it gets put on the back burner. And I've actively chosen to do that because I want this life. But Josh's stuff comes before mine. Yeah. So if he calls me, and he never does, but if it were 2 a.m, I would answer. And hopefully in the future, if it's like somebody in New York, it's a huge deal they need to sign and got to get the ball rolling. You don't want to miss that call.
No, you don't.
It's a great life. Being an agent is great, but it has its downfalls as well. It gets a little lonely.
So why is it important, if you need to turn a player down?
For me, I mean, I just got started, so I haven't really done that yet, but I know instantly if I'm going to connect with somebody or not, whether it's managing them or being their friend. And what I look for is confidence, great communication. And I've recently started to believe that if they say to me, oh, you have to prove yourself, I'm out. I've been told that so many times. And to be honest, I really don't have to prove myself to anybody. And I think I've tried to do that a little bit too much. I don't regret anything I've done, but I'm done with the proving. And if a player says that to me, it's kind of like a joke, but not, and I take it very seriously now. So if they want me to prove myself, then it's not a good fit.
When you disagree with a player on I guess anything, how do you guys give us an idea in the sports world or in the golf world, golf representation world, on how that's handled? Is it like a boyfriend girlfriend scuffle?
If I disagree with my own player or another player?
I guess both.
So in my experience, I've positioned myself to have a level of respect towards me. If, and Josh will admit it too, there are times when I call him out, but I say, hey, these are the facts and you need to get better at this so we can produce this. And most of the time it's a healthy communication. Like the other day, I asked him to do something and it hadn't been done. And I simply said, I asked you on this day and you told me you'd get it done by this day. And now we're past that. So what happened? It's just being real and honest with him and I, and there's never any arguing. It's like, okay, yeah, I effed up, like, got it. But if it's another player, I was in Vegas for the Korn Ferry event, and there was this player who was practicing his swing really close to this other guy I was, kind of recruiting. And it was when he was hitting too. So that's just really disrespectful. And he did it hole after hole after hole. And most of the golfers are just so sweet and nice. So, I went under the ropes and I said, hey, like, fucking stop doing that. It's
so
laid it down.
Yeah, you say the word recruiting. So are you like a college coach going into these guys' living rooms and convincing their moms and their dads to come and sign on with Kuzma Sports?
I'm great with parents, but no, I haven't done that.
Why not? I mean, that sounds fun.
I am registered with the University of Arizona, ASU, Baylor, Alabama, who else? Texas, something. So to talk to NCAA kids, you have to go through compliance office with the college. There's so many rules. You can't just, show up at their house. So I'm sure, and they have my marketing materials that they give to the guys. So they're like the liaison, but at one point or another, I will have to go probably talk to parents, and it probably will be more difficult for me because, parents are looking for that 50-year-old agent who's been doing this his whole
right.
Shoots the shit with the guys all the time. And here I am, this like tiny agent, with a little bit of attitude. So when that time comes, I'm sure I will have enough experience and be prepared, but I haven't done it yet.
So why do players need agents?
Not all players need agents. I think, for the obvious reasons, like the contracts and negotiations, they don't know how to do that, but they are so busy with training, traveling, golf, and all of that. They really don't have time to do the little stuff, accommodations and marketing themselves. And like, they don't know how either. I was on Instagram the other day, and my friend Evan Knight, he'll laugh at this. He posted this story, and it was just so messy. Like the verbiage was all over the place, and you couldn't find the link in bio. And I just called him out for it. I'm like, what is going on here? Like, what is this? And he was like, help me. And I was like, this is a perfect like example of why I have a career, is like, this looks terrible and you don't even know it. So I think that golfers should just stick to golfing and let agents do absolutely everything else.
Almost like an executive assistant firm.
For them.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could say that. But I think, and I like to treat it as I'm superior to them, because then I get no respect, and gotta have that.
RESPECT. This is Caty Kuzma from Kuzma Sports. Is it management or is it just Kuzma Sports?
Honestly, I think I'm changing it to just Kuzma.
Oh, Kuzma. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know yet, but right now.
Okay. Now you left your previous agency and you started it just this year. So, why did you leave and why your own agency?
So I left because I had been over delivering, and it was 2020 and everyone was a little bit stressed out. So I was working weekends and I had no balance in my life. It was just work, 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 work. And I still have that a little bit, but I'm better at it. So I knew I had the tools and the knowledge and the resources to do my own thing. I've always been independent. Everyone in my family is a CEO. So I took the risk, bet on myself, and it's been so amazing. Like, working for yourself, it takes a lot of self-discipline. There are times when I'm like, I don't want to do that. But if I don't, then I won't have a career. So, yeah, I left because I knew my worth, and now I'm finding it. So, and it shows. So I feel like at this age, you should take risks. And if it doesn't work out, at least you have the balls to do it. And I think there's a lot to say for that.
I'd agree.
You just recently posted on Instagram on Kuzma. The first
female PGA.
Is that true?
Yep.
I mean, I'm not calling you a liar. I didn't know that.
And no, I didn't either, but I did my research, and there are women in the industry that work for, that are player managers,
Sure.
But there's registered agent, and not all agents have to be registered, but I am. So yeah, it's crazy to say, and I don't believe it's unbelievable, but there's so much space for women in sport. And I don't know why no one's explored it yet, but it's been great for me so far. So, and there are challenges, obviously, for being a girl. There are, but there's also a lot of advantages.
What are some challenges that you see so far?
Not being taken seriously. What else? I feel like my presence is very strong, and I put myself out there in a very bold way, and it intimidates some people, so I get backlash. But also, some players have girlfriends that say, oh, you can't have a female. Like, trust me. One, your boyfriend doesn't make near enough money for me to even be slightly interested. And two, I'm here to help both of you. Like, I will be a better communicator liaison for you and him. And I just want to help him out. Like, I don't know why these girls get so weird about it. I mean, it shows there's trust issues in that relationship, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I have a very strong head on my shoulders, and I walk into rooms with a lot of confidence. So most of the time people don't say anything to my face. It's online. But, honestly, if you're failing, people aren't going to bring you down. So they only really brag on the successful and people they're jealous of.
What's the off season look like for you?
Same thing. I mean, there is no off season for me. I'm just going to keep doing what I do every day and preparing. I mean, what I do during the season, if I start it now, then I'll be ahead, whether that's, finding sponsors or preparing to reach out to them, planning travel. I think I have all of my trips already planned out, but I'm very type A. So I like to stay on top of it, and there is no downtime for me ever. Like, I should have some probably, but I don't like to do that. So just keep working, enjoying life, meeting new people, traveling, and, finding some me time.
So what's the goal in 10 years?
Goal in 10 years, Kuzma will still be alive and doing better than ever. I don't have any expectations because I love my life as it is right now. I'm going to ride the wave with the Korn Ferry guys that I grab and see them through the PGA Tour. And I'm very simple too. If my life, how it is now, if it stays that way in 10 years, plus some players, some more money, then that's good for me.
Are you going to stick to Korn Ferry guys? Do you want to make the jump back up into PGA Tour?
I have a few PGA guys that I'm interested in, but there's a different connection you find when, managing these younger guys, because you start with them and then you grow with them. So the trust is always there. Whereas I wouldn't be that way with PGA. And although I know a bunch of PGA Tour guys and I could do it, and I believe that I might, like, in myself, I'm going to stick to Korn Ferry for right now and then just ride the wave with them, working for free for them. I mean, I think that speaks volumes to the fact that I'm not using them and I'm not looking at their status. I genuinely want to help them and see them succeed, because there's this quote that I always say, and it's just amazing. It's, you have the opportunity to do amazing things with your life, like bring people with you. So
That's a good quote.
Yeah, great. I see it everywhere now too.
So during the season, it's a May, March, April day. Walk us through the life of Caty Kuzma as a sports agent.
Every day is different for me. If I'm home, I wake up same time every day, and I'm very good at communication. I respond to all my emails almost instantly. I'm making spreadsheet after spreadsheet after spreadsheet, sponsors, recruiting, planning, talking to people, networking, going out there and meeting people in any way I can. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, if I'm at Trader Joe's, I'm networking. So I pretty much get to do whatever I want every day, but I like to be productive, and I can't say that there's a day in the last 2 years that I haven't been. I probably should get more sleep, but I try to go to sleep and then I'm like, I have this cool idea. I need to, get it busted out. But I spend a lot of time on my computer, a lot of time on the phone. And when I'm traveling, I spend a lot of time with people. I invite people to dinners, and I make sure to do that before I get to the tournament so that I have the plans and I actively show interest in these people. But I've had really good luck too. Like, there have been times when I'm at tournaments and I run into these players or higher up, PGA people, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I manifested running into you, and it just happens for me. And so it's a great life. It is. Traveling can get lonely, I will say, like, hotels and flights and airports. It's not really, this job isn't really conducive to healthy relationships. That's why I don't date, but I really don't. And
you hear that, guys? She is single.
My God.
Do you plan on bringing on anybody, any other agents, or is it just going to be you for now and your team?
I know
of marketing and photographers, but any other sports agents that you're going to bring on?
No, I don't know. Probably not. I like things done the way I do them, and I don't trust people. So just me.
You hear that, guy? She's single and has trust issues.
Oh God, you guys.
You said it, Katie, not us.
Can't even make contact with the ball either. I'm a terrible golfer.
Yeah. So, do you have to, how do you market yourself? And I'm not saying that in a, hey, hit me, look at me. I know everything about golf and I'm really good. How do you present yourself to have these players sign with Kuzma?
Well, my Instagram is obviously very strict. I've got the aesthetic down. I did the launch video. All I wanted with the launch was to catch attention and to make a statement that I am here and I'm here to stay. And that's exactly what it did. A lot of people were like, you should have had players in there. I'm like, I really don't care what you think I should have done. This is what I wanted. And this is, I accomplished what I, set out. So in person, I like to establish relationships with these players as just, a friend. Like, we work together, we see each other at these tournaments, and that's all it is. But in recruiting, honestly, people have only DM'd me. I haven't really reached out to anybody yet. There's also a ton of rules with that. So that means I'm doing something right, I think, or they just think I'm another pretty blonde. But I make sure they know really quickly that I'm an agent and nothing more. So, or nothing less. But they have been reaching out to me. So I think I'm doing a good job of getting my name out there. And I was told last week by one of the guys in the top 25 that if I continue to do what I'm doing, like showing up at the tournaments, even though my players aren't there, and I have really no other purpose besides networking, I'm just there to show face. If I continue to do that, it's only going to be good for me. So.
Have you ever yelled mashed potatoes on the golf course?
No, what does that mean?
Okay, good. That's fine.
We don't know either.
I'm glad that you don't know what that means. So
What does that mean?
Just forget about it. You can Google it when we're done here. Yeah. Okay.
I've yelled stuff, but I have never yelled that.
Perfect. So what are you like when you're on the golf course? Are you a loud person? Do you hush? Are you an inside the ropes kind of gal? Does that get you inside the ropes where you're not 10 deep? Because you're 5'1". So but then again, you're going to Korn Ferry events, and no offense to the Korn Ferry Tour, but that's not PGA Tour deep where you're like 10 groups deep.
Yeah. So PGA events, I definitely have better treatment because I have credentials. I'm quiet. I follow the rules, very respectful. I wave to my guys or they wave to me, but I definitely stay very professional. Now, if somebody took a club to Josh's face, I would definitely step in, but for the most
that
part,
escalated quickly.
it would never happen, but I don't want people to think that I don't have it in me to stand up for people. I would if I needed to. I worked for Bubba Watson. Like, I had to be his buffer at times. I know how to shove people off.
You had to do the stay away type of deal. Yeah.
How they had me doing that, knowing how I am, but I made it happen. So.
Okay. Has anyone ever asked you for your autograph?
No, they have not. Why would they?
I don't know.
They have not.
Okay.
Not yet.
Not yet. Yeah. All right, Katy. Anything else that you want to add here about the sports, the life of a sports agent for Korn Ferry Tour members?
Yeah, don't become a sports agent. You get no sleep, you get paid shit money, and you
Well, you did say you do work for free. I was going to have you expound on that, but I think your players will that's a conversation for you to have with your players.
Yeah, I work for free until they get their PGA card. And then they know that I take 15.
That should be pretty good for any Korn Ferry Tour player, since they're not really making any money unless they're making cuts.
Exactly.
And
but
if you've been listening to the Rough Fairways podcast, everybody, golf is really tough, and these players are really, really good.
They're getting better each year too. It's scary. Technology thing is mind blowing. So I have a strategy, and I have this one trick that I know has never failed me. And actually, I talked to a few guys on Korn Ferry earlier this year, and after having spoken to me, business meetings, whatever, they've only done like extremely well. I'm like, I swear, if you're using my trick, like, that is unfair. I need to get paid for that. But there's a method to the madness, and I know what I'm doing. And yeah, anyone that knows me knows it too. So.
All right, we can't leave you without some rapid fire and quick hitter questions. These are not even typically these are golfer related, but I can find a couple in here that we like to ask that you might be able to answer. Who is the best dressed on the Korn Ferry Tour?
Oh, I can't say that. I would say Ricky has it dialed in because he's notorious for the orange, and I love a good.
Well, we know Ricky's a good dresser. I want to know who's good dressed on the Korn Ferry Tour.
James Nicholas has it pretty good. You know, he's with Grayson and very clean and, you know, always polished. And I used to work with him too, so I think he looks great. Brent Grant has good clothes. I mean, I think they're tailored well to him. Who else? That's kind of it. There's a lot of guys out there that I'm like, tuck in your shirt. What is happening with your rest you?
Do you tell them?
No, because I'm not gonna help someone that's not my client, but
You
yeah,
can give them an idea though. I mean, if they're struggling for dating, you can be like, "Hey, dude, tuck in your shirt." You know, a little.
as well. And he's with Peter Millar, so he, you know, I used to go to photo shoots with him and help him dress, but for the most part, they all look great. I just think some of them need to tailor their pants and tuck in their shirt, you know, maybe shave.
Do you see any players wearing pleated pants?
I haven't
Oh,
recently.
Okay, that's good. That's really good. I wondered if they were still out there.
I like it when guys,
Shout out Adam Scott, but
you know, pink is very like, it shows they're so masculine that they're not afraid to wear it, and it stands out, and I love it. So if you wear pink, you're
Makes them easy to see.
yeah.
do you like to watch golf?
I don't watch
You don't watch
Unless I-
golf on TV.
unless I have a player in the field or I personally know somebody, which is a lot of the time, but no, I don't watch it.
Okay.
I have it on background sometimes. There's no need. My job is not to, you know, if I'm recruiting somebody, they're on TV, yeah, maybe I'll watch them, but that's not what I pay attention to. I look for, you know, who they are as a person and what we can bring for each other, you know, in a agent client relationship. And what if I watch golf and like Josh isn't playing, I should be focusing on what he is doing and, you know, work on that. So no, I don't really. I mean, my dad watches it all the time, so if he's too, but it's when I was working for Kevin and Bubba, obviously it was very exciting because they were on TV all the time, and I would definitely watch it and get into it. Not right now.
You got any cool Bubba stories?
I think I signed an NDA, but I will say
You think you did? Okay, fair enough.
he's a very nice guy, honestly.
Yeah. And what's your best Kevin Na story?
I would just say about him is that he is always in a good mood and always positive, literally 24/7, 100% of the time, like happy. And I think that's awesome and inspirational. So no matter what, like win, lose, whatever, happy. And I love that.
He does seem like that kind of guy.
He just got that smile too, you know, he's so smiley.
He's got the best walk
Lock it
in
in.
golf for do the putt. Okay, where everybody can find you at KuzmaSports.com, on Instagram at Kuzma Sports, and then on
Kuzma
Twitter.
with a K.
Kuzma with a K, everybody. Yes, Kuzma Sports. And she is not related to Kyle Kuzma. Are you, Katie? For the record, are you related to Kyle Kuzma?
No.
No distant relative?
Nope.
No second cousin?
Nope.
Do we have a DNA sample or test that we can confer to?
We do not. But,
Okay,
maybe
then I don't know if I believe you yet. So you may have to produce that for all of our listeners to really believe you.
if I can get a hold of him, I will definitely do that. I mean, I've DM'd him before just jokingly, like, hey, I have a sports agency and you play sports and like we have the same last name, but obviously I didn't get a reply.
Let me reach out to my guys. I'll check with LeBron and I'll
Yeah.
get back to you on that and we'll go from there.
Perfect.
Everybody go find her out. Go give her a follow at KuzmaSports.com, on Instagram at Kuzma Sports, and
Is at Caty Kuzma, which I reply to more on. So.
And Katie with the C. Things are all different here, and it's no Katie. And yep,
Changing the game over here.
Changing it up with Caty Kuzma from Kuzma Sports. Katie, thank you so much for joining us. Good luck to you. And Korn Ferry guys, if you are looking for a small agent, a tiny agent who is very selective with trust issues, go get her.
Oh, that guy's the best. Thank you so much.
Good night, Katie.
Bye. I'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Fairways is produced by Eddie Dunn and Mike Sells. Thanks again, Katie. That was a lot of fun. Korn Ferry guys, if you are looking, go check her out, KuzmaSports.com, or find her at a local course near you on tour. Check her out on Instagram. Look for the Black K, Kuzma Sports. Enjoy the Tour Championship this week. And remember, please be kind to each other.